Alright, hombres, we back. And it is that time of the month again. We have the update notification for Fire Emblem Heroes. So we already know who the remixes are going to be, considering they were in the Fate channel. But let's see if there's anything new in here. Okay, so summoning events are being updated. Legendary and Mythic heroes will be added to the remix summoning events. We already know who those are. They were in the Fate channel. Alright, let's see what else we got in here. Oh, there's a new feature here. Hero check button will be added to the summoning screen. This will allow you to check what focus heroes are available even after advancing to the summoning screen or after performing summon. A pretty useful little feature there. I oftentimes will summon on banners and just completely forget which units are on which colors, particularly on legendary banners where it's got so many featured units. But, I mean, it's still a nice little feature to have for other banners too. Okay, so we already knew about this. We have Brave or Legendary Seliph getting his remix here. So his new A skill is going to be Distant Ferocity. He came with Distant Counter already, so pretty good. Just adds a little bit more value to him as a fodder unit. And then Holy Wars N2, which is going to, if his HP is over 25%, it'll inflict attack and defense -5 on the enemy. It makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. Foe can't make a follow-up attack. And also, if the foe initiates, then he gets a brave attack. So, pretty good. Let's see. We're going to have to wait and see what his weapon does combined with this. But it's already boding pretty good for him. Brave attacks is like the way of the future. So, it is good that he has that. Okay, and now Freya. I think Freya's already, like, cracked beyond belief with this new B skill here. So, Binding Necklace Plus removes her condition to transform, so she's just always going to be Goat Mom. And she gets a light version of Phantom Speed, like we've been seeing on a lot of skills, such as Close Call 4 and that Beast Sense skill that we had on Aether. Also, if foe initiates combat or number of allies adjacent to her are less than or equal to 1, she gets all stats up 3, inflicts all stats -3 on the enemy. She nullifies guard, and then she also will steal the enemy's bonuses if they have any active bonuses on any particular stat. So blue buffs, she's going to take them from you, and then she's going to inflict the same thing as a debuff on you for having them in the first place. So a pretty messed up skill. Binding Necklace basically is just like lulls on steroids. So a very strong skill. Whatever her weapon does, her weapon was already pretty good back in the day. Like, I think it gives her speed up 3, it gives her distant counter, and then it gives her dodge as well, and the typical Cavalry Beast transformation. They're probably going to give it the new Cavalry Beast transformation effect, the one that works similar to Clash skills. So what we've seen on Aether's new Beast weapon, and also the new refines. And what else could they give her, though? Probably like null follow-up, I would imagine. That's already a devastating combo, man. Distant counter, null follow-up, dodge, and then you have this B skill here, which is giving her essentially Phantom Speed Light and then like a super lull skill. She's going to be really good, man. She's going to be solid as a Gale Forcer too with nullification of guards, so definitely an awesome unit. And her new skill is going to be Speed Smoke 4. Would have been nice if they gave her Alarm attack speed instead, but I guess it is what it is. Okay, so here are going to be our next set of Ephemera codes. So we're getting Pirate Surtur and Pirate Tibarn. Interesting, okay. So Tibarn, of course, has Dive Bomb, which is really nice fodder to give out to your units. And I think he had Heavy Blade 4 as well, although unfortunately for Heavy Blade 4, it's already been phased out. We have better versions, or just better skills that give you special ramping now. And then Pirate Surtur, I think he had Crafty Fighter. I could be mistaken about that, but I'm pretty sure he had Crafty Fighter. And unfortunately, he has a unique C skill that you're not able to inherit, but I don't know why you would in the first place, because the only C skills armor units want these days are save skills in the first place. So kind of a RIP there. So for the 4 stars, we're getting Soleil, we have Phila, we have Valentine Effie, we got Tsubaki, and then we also have Tatiana. So Valentine Effie is pretty good. I would say Fallen Linus is just a better version of her because he has a perf weapon, and unfortunately there's only one rearmed axe at the moment, and it's not a particularly good one for fast axe units. So Fallen Linus's weapon works pretty well for a god axe. So Effie's not really able to compete with him at the moment. Maybe if we get a fast version of an arcane arcane axe, then Effie will be on par with him. But in that same regard, you could just give Linus that same weapon if it ever comes to pass. So I would say Effie, build her if she's your favorite, but Fallen Linus is a little better. And we're getting a rerun of him too with this batch of stuff coming in the summer celebration. Phila's not a bad merge project either. There's a couple of flying lance units that are pretty strong options to give the Arcane Lewin to, and Phila would be one of them. She's got a really huge res stat, so if you wanted to give her like Arcane Lewin and then Pegasus Flight 4, she is a pretty good user of that skill. So not too shabby. Alright, here are the refines. This is the part that we've all been waiting for here. So we have Bunny S getting a refine. We have Echidna. Okay, that's a 3-star demote. She's part of the original 3, like, god axes. I don't know if I should say god axes, but these 3 axe units back in the day that were really good merge projects for scoring purposes, and that was Ross, Echidna, and Mustafa. So Echidna's getting her turn here. We had Ross from one of the previous ones, and his was actually not too bad for a refine. So hopefully Echidna gets the same treatment. Okay, of course, Legendary Seliph and Freya are in there too. Then we have Seti. Okay, that's pretty good. What they need to do is give him the same version of whole Seti that he had from FE4, because he was damn near like the best unit in that game when you get to the time skip, and then he gets freaking whole Seti, who's like such a busted weapon. It gives you plus 20 speed, and then you get adept as well. So I don't know what they were thinking with that weapon in Fae, like just giving it attack and speed solo 3. It's such a disservice when you look at what the weapon actually did in its original game. But Jugdral was just stacked to the brim with busted-ass legendary weapons in the first place. So I guess it makes a little bit of sense if you want to look at it from a balance perspective. Then we have Mareeta. Okay, the original godsword herself. Mareeta was the first godsword. So she came with the first dodge skill, which was Close Call 3, and then she also had the first god build weapon for a sword, which was -1 special trigger, all stats up 5, and null follow-up built in. So I mean, a lot of people are big fans of her. Let's see what they decide to do with her refine here and see if she can make it back on top as being the #1 godsword. And then finally, we have Travent, who's going to be our Grand Hero battle option for this batch. So not too shabby. Pretty solid free-to-play options here in Echidna and Travent, and then a bunch of Jugdral homeboys. So hopefully they get some good justice. Our arena's being updated. We already saw that. They're adding new, new arena maps, which we saw in the Fae channel. But also, it looks like the free summon reward for getting 5 consecutive wins will be updated as well. So, the first summon ticket that you can get by getting 5 consecutive wins will switch to one that works for free summon arena reward 3. Okay, that makes sense because they added a bunch of demotes as well from the Fae channel. So, I believe it was units starting from the Shinin banner, Shinin and Gatri, like from that banner all the way on to, what was the last banner on that list? I think it was like Sarah's banner, or I think it went a little beyond that. I can't remember from which banner to which banner, but a lot of demotes are being added into that pool, and there's some pretty solid fodder options and pretty solid units in there, so good that they're adding them immediately to the arena summon ticket thing. We're getting more maps added to the Memento events, which, I mean, it's not really a surprise. They always add that. AR is being updated, so additional terrain. We're getting 2 new terrain maps, which both didn't really look all that promising from what I could see. It really sucks to say, but I mean, all of these arena map or Aether Raids maps that they add are just pointless unless they have walls. Because you really need at least one wall to create some kind of choke point to wall out the enemies. And if the maps are just going to be wide open like that, it's not really beneficial to us. So maybe one day we'll get another map that has 2 walls. We had it with Jotunheim Castle and way back in the day when Spring Breeze was just broken. But it seems like they've been very cautious lately about making defense maps with walls, because they emergency nerfed Jotunheim Castle and turned the walls into breakable, like, crags. So I don't know, man. I feel like defense needs to be a lot harder. Unfortunately, offense is just way too easy, and defense is, for the most part, defense is difficult to make a solid defense for unless you're a whale and you have a bunch of +10 armored units that you can abuse certain strategies with. But I don't know, man. It is what it is. All right, Belly Rub Sami is added to the inn. I don't really know if you can even do anything with it. It's just going to be random if you find him in the inn or not, if he's going to show up sleeping with your characters. But I guess there he is, the Belly Rub Sami plushie. All right, 2 songs added to Concert Hall. We have Hector's theme from Blazing Blade and ID Serenity from Awakening. I actually know that one. That's a pretty dope one. I like that song. So, not too bad. Okay, Summoner Duels being updated. We're getting more favor level, which always happens. We're getting new additions to the Heroic Grail shop. We're getting the Summer Male Shez and Murdoch, both really good ones. Murdoch is also getting his rerun during this revival event for the Grand Hero Battles. So, going to make it easier to get him +10 there. And Summer Shez is essentially the best flying lance unit in the game. He's got the best stat line, and he's got the best overall BST. So, remember what I said earlier about Phila and, like, Karen, and I guess you could throw Marcia in there as well as possible options to give Arcane Lewin to. The real unit you would want to give that to, I guess, is Summer Male Shez. But he's already got such a solid perf weapon, it's kind of like a shame to give him another perf lance, even though it's probably slightly better than his brave weapon, but still, I mean, he's already got something that works, so the way I see it, might as well give a lesser unit a solid weapon option. And they're fixing an issue in the Aether Raid's loading screen where the lower tier background is being shown. Oh, I know exactly what they're talking about. We could actually show that right now. We go into Aether Raids, and right there, it shows that we're not in space, but we are in space. So, yeah, they got to fix that. The first time I saw that happen, I almost had a heart attack. I thought it reset me all the way to rank 1 for some reason. So, yeah, it looks like they're going to go ahead and fix that, which is good. So that's pretty much everything there is to talk about here. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the upcoming refines and also all the other information we got in here. So this stuff is dropping on the 6th. So I would imagine the trailer for the Butler and Maid banner is going to be on the 5th. So look forward to that, guys. And this your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas. And I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.